So I'm excited about today. Today we're going to look at the the first assignment, of course, which is a fun assignment. It could be frustrating, and there are some of you who are perfectionists who will find it like craziness and insanity has hit you. And we had one person who tried 36 times to get her action figure right in the first class that we did in the summer. And so we walked her off the ledge and we calmed her down, and all went well. So I was really happy about that. But the whole exercise is just to help you have something fun to play with the AI and try out the prompts. So the prompts have to be concise. They have to you have to be able to go in and try several times at different times. And that's why this tool, doing your little action figures, help. But you may or may not be doing things like that for work. You may be actually, looking at how to find out who your competitors are in your business, maybe find out what type of industries are growing at this time because you're doing something that you'd like to help that industry grow. So there are so many different types of prompts. So what I tried to share with you in our video that I sent for this week are a number of different prompts. So I'm going to go touch on those today. Then I also got into chatbots. I just wanted to introduce them to you in case it's something you want to do for your final project, so that you were introduced to them and aware of them. Because there are so many different types of chatbots that you might leverage. And I have a couple that I actually created for this class that I'll share with you as well. I did them this morning. They really do not take long. They range from really simple free ones to more complex ones. So I'm going to be sharing that gamut of chatbot possibilities with you as well. But before I start that, there are a few people that weren't here last week that, if you don't mind, I'd love for you to, you know what, I want everyone to introduce themselves because I think everyone needs to know who everyone is. And I'm just going to go through that quickly, if you don't mind, and a little bit on what you think you want as your final assignment. And the reason I ask that is because then I tailor whatever I'm sharing in the examples to what you want. So for example, I think Julia is going to want animated videos. I could be wrong, but if she does, then I'm going to be looking at certain aspects for that type of solution. I think someone else wants teaching tools, so I'm going to be looking at that. So really everyone is different, and that makes it very exciting. So I'm going to start with Danielle because she and I kind of go way back. So I will pick on her from time to time, and she'll handle it. So,
Whether I like it or
Danielle,
not.
who are you? And a little bit, and why are you here?
My name's
And I'm
Danielle.
delighted you're here.
Thank you. My name is Danielle. I work as an executive assistant. I'm a firm believer that AI, like most technology, is here to stay, and the people who know how to utilize it and use it well are going to be the ones that set the tone in their companies, and that is what I like to do. So I want to learn as much as I can. I don't really know at all what I want to do for my final project. I was toying with the idea of making a chatbot type situation because I think that is something that I'd be able to utilize going forward with other companies.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't fully decided yet.
Okay, no problem. And you know what? You'll find everyone we spoke to last week, that's the exciting part of this, is many people will change what they're trying to do along the way, and they may have three or four, like Elizabeth seemed to have four things she was going to do. So, which is kind of cool. And so, Julia, thank you. Thanks, Danielle.
Yeah, so I'm Julia, obviously. I think Danielle said it really well. I also agree, like AI is where a lot of companies are going, and if you know how to use it, you can utilize that tool to the best of your ability, how it works for you and your company. Like you said, Sofie, I think we're looking at video right now. That could change, but definitely
Okay.
video and marketing. Just maybe some ad creation. I know I was also thinking about maybe using it to make some TikTok videos and hop over to that platform. A lot of our content right now is mostly based for Instagram and Facebook. It's not really, I don't think it would do well on TikTok. So if we could utilize the video making for something like that and help grow our exposure over there as well, I think that would be great.
So we need some hooks for you, and we need some surprising elements that people aren't going to expect for TikTok. So that behavior is a little bit different, and it's exciting
Yeah,
because now it's so much easier to do. And yeah, and there's a couple different ways. We talked a little bit about it last week with Carlene. It was like Sora or CapCut. Those are two different ways, and I already started my materials for that lecture. Because I'm a little ADD and I'm thinking, I can't wait to get to that lecture, but I will, or else we'll overwhelm everybody. So that is the route we will try and make. I'm not going to try and, there's probably 45 million different apps you could use, and I'm going to try and narrow it to just a couple. So that's exciting, Julia. Thank you.
awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Yay. Sandra, welcome.
Hi. Thanks for having me. I work for the City of Toronto in social services, particularly in homelessness and housing. And so I heard about this course, and AI is a bit of a mystery to me. So I sort of thought, well, okay, I'll jump in. And then I read some of the materials. I'm like, oh, maybe I should jump out because this seems pretty scary. So I'm still a little bit on the fence, but I think I jumped in because I wanted to figure out how I can use AI to help with my work and make my work easier. You know, I get a lot of
Okay.
reports, and how can I adapt AI to the reports that I get, and to simplify going through them all, and then produce documents that are easy to share that information with other people. But then I started to get a little interested in the chatbot
Mhm.
function, and we actually we provide grants to agencies to provide services to people who are homeless and marginally housed, and it's an online like agreements, and your reports and your budgets are all on, but there's no chatbot attached to it. And
That's perfect.
not that they're paying me to do that. They're maybe not even have any interest, my my employer, but it would be nice to be able to sort of say, hey, take a look at this. Like, I built this in a class, and maybe there's a way that we could then apply this, because we're not the only division that uses it. There's 3 divisions that use it, and it would probably be pretty helpful to the user, such as myself, to have this
That's
type of
exciting,
function.
Sandra.
Yeah, so I'm
Let
toying
me
with
ask
that.
you about, are you on Microsoft
Yes.
platform, Enterprise Microsoft? And
Yep.
has the city enabled you to
Yep.
use Copilot? Okay,
Yep.
good. So, and have you had a chance to use Copilot very much in what you do day to day, in
And
looking
not
at documents, for example?
n- no, not really. I would say that
That's where I'll help you.
yeah, I would say that I did. I also spent a number of years in PR and communication, and I decided I would try this Chat GPT and write a letter. And I put some parameters in, and in 10 seconds, I had a letter, and I felt incredibly redundant in that moment. My writing
Oh,
skills
no.
are not necessary anymore when I can just jump it into Copilot, and it can return a letter just like that. That really only needed a few tweaks here and there. So that was a very interesting experience. I've never felt
It's
that before
interesting.
with technology.
But when you look at this whole first assignment, trying to create your action figure, if that's
Mhm.
what you're going to go with, you
Mhm.
see that it's returning things that aren't correct. And you know, no, I need a dog that's bigger than that dog. What was it thinking? I mean, does it not know how big my dogs are? Well, no, it
Mhm.
doesn't. You know, and one of them, I was Stacy. I wasn't Sophie. I have been Sophie all my life. How did they come back for Stacy as my action figure name? You know, so it will come back in that writing, and it needs your expertise to
Mhm.
know
Yeah.
what you are talking about with your target audience, with your people. I mean, that's so specific what you do.
Mhm.
And so even though it might come back with something that looks polished, it still
Mhm.
needs the expert being
Yeah.
you to
Mhm.
guide it.
Yeah.
So I could see where that would feel like, oh, I can't do this. But no, never underestimate your knowledge in your industry.
Mhm.
And you're now just you're guiding AI. It's like one of the examples somewhere is that it's like a really cool employee that you have to train. And you will always be the person that knows much more than that employee, but they can research faster, they can polish things faster, but still you need to guide them. So that's exciting. I'm hoping I'll be able to help you, Sandra. I think there's a couple different ways we can go with you, and both we will do, because we have the whole productivity section, which is all about using Copilot better or using Gemini better if we're in the Google suite. So both of those with regards to spreadsheets, Word documents, PowerPoints. So that will be exciting. And then with regards to the chatbot, like I said, we're going to touch on that probably each session, because chatbots, it really depends what people want, but I'm hearing chatbot a couple different times. So I'm excited about that because I'm a nerd and I find chatbots to be refreshing to my nerd self. So, okay, wonderful to meet you, Sandra. Thank you. I'm going to go to Carmela. Am I saying you right? You're muted.
Yeah, it's Carmelina.
Carmelina. Oh, that is
Yeah,
very nice.
I
Okay,
know that's a mouthful.
that's
Okay.
beautiful though. Carmelina,
Yeah.
welcome.
Thank you. I guess 3 years ago, my son put chat on my phone, say, Ma, stop talking about it. And I just posted today on LinkedIn, I have two vices, espresso and learning. So I was on chat asking it for ideas on, because I'm constantly taking courses and stuff on AI and some leadership stuff. And I mean, I had Googled and I come from a background of legal and education and three different sectors, but it was chat that gave me this Trent course. I'm like, really? Okay. So I jumped on, right? And I think one of the things
Excellent.
that, yeah, it's funny because I was teaching a business ethics course, and just as AI was coming in, I was doing everything that was free. Anybody that was giving me free stuff, Harvard Publishing, York
Yes.
University, right? And I decided not to teach anymore because people started to cheat when we went virtual. And I'm like, I am not policing graduate students. I want to bring my knowledge into the workforce to kind of help them, right? I'm always pushing people and sharing knowledge. So I've used chat for 3 years, got it to the point because I have a legal background too. It's like the war and peace of prompts, right? But I can do stuff like on it now. Like a friend will call me, she's going to an interview. I'm like, okay, give me the job profile, give me this, give me that, and to see what it does. But I would like to go beyond that now. Like I do a lot of home office stuff, and so I was listening to, I can't remember her name, at the City of Toronto. Um,
Yes, Sandra.
yeah, so I did a lot of public reports, and I'm scared to tell her what office I was with. But I tell you, if we had chat back then, I wouldn't have had to do all the writing. So what I want to tell her is being a subject matter expert cannot be replaced, because what I'm finding
Right.
is the young people that haven't developed the analytical thinking and stuff, that's where the danger lies. But now what I'd like to do with it is I have a couple of ideas because I always like mentor and help people and whatnot. And one of the things now listening to you guys about chatbots is I had, idea of dial a lot of people call me because of my different
Mm,
skills. Like they lose a job, they call me. They're in a marriage issue, they call me. And I don't know if there's some kind of, I don't know, tool that way. I really want to start using other kind of AI tools. So it might come to me, but I would love to develop something that I could use that's industry agnostic then, like because I'm mentoring a young high school girl or I talk to my graduate students. I'm always pressing them on AI, which is hilarious.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I would
it's
like,
exciting. So
yes, I want to just,
there's
I'm
so
here
many
to
different
learn.
ways. So I think
Yeah.
when we're showing the examples, if you don't mind speaking up at those times to tell me, yeah, this is what really makes sense.
Okay.
This resonates with me. I need to know more about this. There is, of course, there's something I'm going to be sharing with you today called LM Note. And sorry, Notebook LM. I'm dyslexic, so sometimes I'll flip things. Notebook LM, and so it's like a chat bot, but it's different. It's more of a research tool. I don't know if that's it for you. Then there's other. I think that's more for Sandra. I think, but there's other tools. There are verbal tools now with chatbots where you're speaking to it. And I don't know, when you're saying they call you, did you literally mean they pick up the phone and they call you,
Yeah. They call
or
me,
are
they
they
text
chatting
me,
with
they
you?
email me.
Okay, so various
Yeah.
different ways, and you
Yeah,
want it all
I'm
to
not
come
sure if
in.
that's the way, because originally I only got this now when you're talking about chat boxes. Originally, I really would like to find something that will also help me in my home space. Like I've got 3 email boxes. I get hundreds of emails,
Oh, okay, yep.
and I don't, my son's like, Ma, I'll give you I'll tell you what to use. I'm like, whatever, but today I'm gonna join this course. Like, don't take any more.
So
Yeah.
are you using Gmail? Are you using Outlook? Or are you using yes to both?
And iCloud. I've had to like
And I,
yeah. So I've got 3 of them for 3 different purposes. Like one's just for legal, one's just you know what I mean? It's just hard for me to keep on top of that. And I get business stuff, financial stuff. I just
yeah,
yeah.
there's some tools out there that are, I think we're not doing that next week. I think it's the week after, in the process mapping and
Okay.
automation, where I'm looking at things like Zapier, which might be something you need. It's like an AI agent that's smart enough to go into different platforms and bring them together. So if you were looking to just understand your file system better for Microsoft, like Sandra would, she's got her Outlook, which is her emails, and then she's got her SharePoint. She has where her files are being stored. And so with Copilot, you can ask it to look at past files and help you create a document to reply to this email thread. So it's looking at the email thread, it's looking at all these documents, it brings it all together in a snap. And now Sandra, we know, is not being redundant at this point, because she's looking at all these past things and looking at it and saying, yeah, okay, you know what? I need to bring this into it and that into it, and have Copilot help me create. But it's only looking at the Microsoft ecosystem, which is
Which is
exciting for
it's fine.
Sandra
Yeah.
because she's using the Microsoft ecosystem, right? But in your case, of course, you're unique because I think you have a few different ecosystems,
Mm.
right? You have Microsoft, you've got iCloud, maybe you said, I apologize, and you have Gmail. I think you have 3 different systems. If you have 3 different systems, there's something called Zapier, which you can put between them, and it will do that same thing between the 3 systems. So that one has been around for a whole long time, like a year or so. In AI world, it's been around for, it's been tested, it's accepted. But so we'll get to that, and that could be something
Okay.
that might help you.
Yeah, I mean, it's also an
Interesting.
opportunity to use this and realize, it's what we used to do in the audit world, and it's time to change
Mhm.
what you're doing, and simplify. And so I'm here to learn and absorb and see if something resonates that I could leverage. And yeah, thank you.
Well, what's interesting, because you have such different industry experiences, you will probably find a niche solution that uh, others won't see, that you'll see by
Maybe.
looking at these tools and be able to apply it to different industries. But there's 2 different mindsets. One is looking at those solutions that you're familiar with that others aren't, and the other is helping your clients speak with you a little more coordinate. So there's so much. Okay, that's exciting. Thank you, Sandra. Sorry, thank you. I apologize.
Okay,
Um,
Carmelina.
so you met us on ChatGPT. Just Sandra, how did you find out about the course? You're muted. Sorry.
My longtime friend Kelly Young told me about it, and I jumped in on it.
Okay. There you go. Thank you. I was wondering if you too, like Carmelina, found it on ChatGPT. I thought, well, that's interesting. I should investigate that. Okay, cool. Well, talking about Kelly Young, let's ask her then. Kelly, I know you introduced yourself last week and we talked about who you are, but just for the benefit of everyone, I'm going to go through the humans that were here last week as well. Kelly, we'll start with you.
Thanks so much. So it was nice last week to meet you. I'm a professor at Trent University, and I teach a course where AI is part of that. I've been working alongside folks like Carlene who've been teaching about that as well. So lots of conversations, playing around. And yeah, so when you said we could invite others, I thought of Sandy, my friend. So yeah, and I've been playing around now with my superhero. That was my homework this week. Kind of doing that, spending a little time with it. And I don't know for sure my end goals, but I'm hopeful to incorporate more into my teaching, lessons and tools and things. Animated videos for sure. Definitely interested in Sora, and now the chatbots are definitely getting interesting as well. So I'm not sure where I'll land on the final assignment, but I think it could be a lot of fun as we go. So thanks.
Oh, that's exciting. Thank you. Well, since you mentioned Carlene, I think we'll go with Carlene next. Thanks, Kelly.
Hi. What I was supposed to say what I am interested in and like for the final project. Is that
Well,
right?
just hello to everyone. Who are
Oh,
you?
okay. Yeah,
And because yeah,
sure. My name's Carlene. I teach at Trent University, and I teach like an AI in education class. But I don't have any background in computer science. I got more interested in it because of like just the social justice side of it, I was just interested in how social and environmental aspects fit in. So I've like read a lot about that, but my chops aren't great on actually, uh, you know, knowing a ton of them. The one thing that I've signed up, I don't know, whatever, have an account with for a long time throughout this whole process, and that I use whenever I'm doing presentations is ChatGPT. But I don't know what version I have. I mean, I'm paying something, but I don't know. Yeah. So it's like it only gives me like 3 shots, and then 3 shots per day. I'm making like images. Text you can do forever, but pictures you can't. So I probably should have started
we'll look
last
into
week,
that.
and then so I could have had 20 chances at making my character better, but at least I have a few. I'm very interested as well in the making an animated because I'm a filmmaker person, and but it's all kind of traditional animation. But I'm interested. I'm interested in knowing more about that piece. And you know what, Sandra, I was gonna say, like, it's like I feel like it's like candy. You get it and you go like, oh my God, it's amazing. And some things I find like really useful. Like if you were to say, I do a lot of social justice ed, and I go, okay, give me tips on how to work with teachers on, like issues of transgender expression in the classroom and what politics I need to worry about. Like if I do that, it's like does incredible thing, right? But then like say I got this, I won't say who I got this from, but oh shoot, let me see. I got this thing from someone the other day where I was just asking about a specific issue with like compensation about graduate supervision. And then they they had like a paragraph that was kind of answering me. And then these paragraphs in the middle that I'll send that just I was like, oh, that's not real. That's AI. And then like like a paragraph at the end that's actually answering me. And then this just sounds like gobbledygook to me. Like it's not like I was like, oh wow, my boss uses like fake language to answer me instead of just
Oh, what a shame.
you know what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes strategically I find
You
it
weren't supposed
like,
to tell us who that was, but yes.
yeah, well, who's my boss? I'm all over the place, so we don't know who the boss is. But it like to me, I look at that and it's like then I don't feel like I'm out of a job because I can see that somebody's not using it well. They're using it like there was no need to talk about how great graduate supervision is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they were hallucinating, or at least their answer was, and they had no idea that that they just, it's like Sandra said. I mean, they just sent you the entire message, but they didn't bother looking at it. So if you're right. I mean,
Or it
that's the
reminds
worry
me
with the
of like grading papers when you used to be able to catch usually
people that copied.
well, yeah, because it'll be like the first paragraph is specific and or has 10 errors in it. And the last one does, and then in the middle, it's just an essay off the internet or something. And that's what this sounds like to me too. Because I didn't say, do you value graduate supervision? Why do you value that's not what the email was. So this is like, how you're, because is it Carmelina? Uh, like I'm the same way. I have so many emails. I don't know what to do. It's just killing me. And I'm with you on that. But then I look at how people are using it, and this just to me looks like garbage, and it looks like people would think poorly of you if you sent it, because
And they do, and they do. There's no question. And I think those people will do poorly in the future because they're not using it properly. I agree. And that's why we're leaders in AI, strategic thinkers, and we'll be able to hopefully, and I know we'll be able to use this much more professionally. So I am just going to say thank you. And then Elizabeth was stepped away for a second. I think she's back to introduce herself. Then I'm going to pop on to see some of the in the system. We're going to go look at some of the assignments that have been handed in. That'll give people who aren't familiar with Blackboard a chance to take a look at it. And then there are a couple different tools I want to show you that we talked about in the video I sent, but I want to show you those specifically. Elizabeth, are you there, hon?
I am. Can you not see
Oh,
me?
good.
I'm
Okay.
hiding. Maybe I'm hiding.
For once,
Hopefully
I
I
can't
won't.
see you.
I hope I won't take up your whole screen on the recording this time. So,
Oh, you might. You're the last one talking again.
oh well, no, you have to talk after me then. Just say anything. Um, I work for a nonprofit that serves military and veteran spouses of the Canadian Armed Forces, and I do a lot of career development stuff with them, including a podcast. And I really want to build some online social media presence. And I'm having lots of fun with my avatar. Yeah, I had to make her face a little fatter because she came out looking pretty sleek there. And yeah, so I'm moving that around. I've done it once and I like that one better. So you got to figure out how to merge them all together. I don't know. And then I'm not into cloning myself, but I would clone her and maybe get a nice voice that goes with her that doesn't have to be mine. I
Woohoo.
don't know. And then get some kind of social media strategic plan to kind of
Okay.
unroll and unleash the fact that this is out there and it's free for them. And why the heck, where are you? So, yeah, my class just started the other day and we had a huge turnout and a great session, but it's like the best
Congratulations.
secret always. Thank you. But it's the best kept secret always. So I'd like to like roll it out a little bit better. And yeah, so
And
that's
your
me.
target market are the Canadian Armed Forces. And so they're coast to coast and probably overseas, and it's their spouses that are not overseas. Is this who you're targeting?
My target market is the spouses. And they can be overseas. There's lots of them on Outcan postings. They're down in the States. They're all over the place. Like in my classes, I had somebody from Italy and somebody from Kentucky and someone else they were all over the place. So it just depends
Interesting.
on where their spouse is sent. But what happens is that when they're out of Can, unless they can get a job on base, they can't work. So in the States, they can, but in order to get that all set up, sometimes it takes a chunk of their posting away. So if they can get into some of the virtual training and help them prep for even when they get back is much more helpful.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah,
How
so
long
I'm
have you been
excited.
doing that?
Almost 20 years.
Wow. Okay, cool. Excellent. You've seen a lot of changes.
AI, not so long, not so long. So yeah,
AI, not so long for
I
any of us
was
except for
using chat like
Carmelina.
Google. So I was that one using chat like Google. So I stopped and I took your course and you blew my mind away. So I gathered up all my pennies and had a cupcake sale so I could fund me doing this on my own time, and I'm having a blast. So yeah.
I'm happy to hear that. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, what Elizabeth is talking about, I did a face-to-face hands-on workshop down in, I think, Campbellford not too long ago, and that's where we originally met. So, okay, I'm doing one there, I think, next week on Monday on chatbots, how to create chatbots hands-on 4 hours. So that'll be interesting. All these different people with different needs, so no problem. Okay, so so we are going to share my screen. And I am going to, okay, I am going to go to, you can see my screen now. Oh boy, Elizabeth. Okay, so someone else may want to talk for a second. Maybe I can just get into speaker view. Yeah, I think that'll work. And I will
Sofie,
share
can
my
I
screen.
just
I'm gonna
let
go
you
to,
know, sorry, that we,
yes,
Carlene and I are not registered yet on Blackboard. I'm not sure. I think it's an internal thing because we already teach on it. But just so you know, we appreciate you sending materials because I think there's a glitch somewhere.
okay,
Just wanted to update you.
okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, and so thank you. No, I didn't know that, Kelly. So Allison knows, right?
I believe she's trying to work on it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll check with her. Yes, I know it takes 48 hours for, I think Danielle signed up Thursday and she's on now. But so I know it takes 48 hours, but with myself, it was a mess last year because I was a prof up until a couple of years ago. And then I'm not a prof, but it still thinks I'm a prof. So it was very confused as to who I was. So yeah, the course started and I was doing it all without, anyways, okay, we will get you on. So now I'm going to share my screen.
It did take a couple of days for me to get mine. I got the email from Allison on October 17th, but even after getting her email, it took a good 48 hours for me to get access to everything. Just so everyone
So we
knows.
know 48 hours for Sandra, I think might have been the Carmelina as well. So when you guys signed up, that'll take that long. Okay, thank you. So we have, so when you go to your Trent, I'm going to get into student mode. And when you first come into Trent, you're at your home page. Now, everyone's might look a little different, but in general, you're on your home page. And here, what you'll see when you log in. So, Allison gets you onto the system. So I don't have access to help you do that. She gets you a Trent email. And then what I do with my Trent emails is I forward them to whatever my normal email is. So I don't have 40 accounts to check. So it all routes through. And then what I do is when you come into your Blackboard, which is you need your Trent email to log into your Blackboard, if you get into your home, and then on your home, what you'll be seeing is there's announcements. So I have all the announcements set up so that once I put an announcement, which I hope to just do weekly, it should send you an email automatically. But again, it goes to your Trent email, which then gets forwarded to your regular email. In the meantime, those humans that are not on the Blackboard yet, I will send you the full email to your email. So this is an example. Welcome to week 2 of Artificial Intelligence Solutions for Business Leaders. I changed the name. No one told me to, but I changed the name to Artificial Intelligence Solutions. So that's really what we're talking about for people that are using our AI strategically. But so what I put here is the video of myself on Friday. I take a video of next week's materials that we're going to be going over so that you have the weekend if you want, and then all this week to review it. And so this week is all about prompts and chatbots, and I share examples of the first project in this video. So it's about an hour and 20 minutes. I went a little bit over. Normally I try to keep it under an hour. And then I attach, and then I put this all content for your different course content under something called, drum roll please, course content. Woohoo! So you go over to course content, and that's where you'll find the most, like the first week will be, you've got to scroll down for it. Sometimes it'll look, whoops, I'm scrolling all over the place, stop it. Sometimes it'll be compact where you've got to click on this little down arrow to open it. Other times it shows up like this. So in the so everything for week 1 is here. Everything for week 2 is here. So for week 1, what you'll find is this is my digital twin that I created, and I used HeyGen to create my digital twin. So I showed you that one here. Then I have the course materials, then the opening lecture video. So that's that hour talking about what AI is, our topics, and then what our final assignments might look like. And then I had the Zoom link, just in case you didn't have it. And then I had the live lecture. So this is where the live lecture is. So this was capturing last Tuesday, for anyone that missed it. That's the live lecture right there. And then this week's transcript. So this also is from the live lecture. What I do in the Zoom is I automatically have it take notes for us. So that's a fabulous productivity tool. If this was a meeting and there was action items, it would come up with the action items. Of course, what you have to do is look at it, because sometimes if you and I are talking about some event that we're talking about that has nothing to do with the course, I don't need that in the actions, so I take that out. So obviously you want to look at it and edit it, but it's all part of Zoom, which I love. So for Outlook, Teams does the same thing, which is pretty extraordinary. Anyways, so there's week 1. Week 2 is here. So in week 2, we're in right now, you've got some different things I'm showing you for the actual kind of assignment to look at ideas. And then I have the lecture. So this is this week's lecture, the full lecture on prompts and some different links that might help you with your assignment. Then I will go in and I will look at the recording of us live today, and I will capture that, and I will come back into week 2 and add here's the link to the live lecture. So usually by Friday, I'm able to get that in here for you. Okay, so that's where you'll find this. So, and then these are 2 little chatbots that I created for you, just to show you how chatbots, you can create a chatbot really, really simple. So I'm going to show you how I created them in a second, but these are chatbots. This one I created was something called LM Notebook. I did it again, Notebook LM. And I absolutely love Notebook LM. It's something that is fairly new on the scene. It's not your traditional chatbot. It's more of a research tool. So if you do anything where there's a lot of videos, there's a lot of documents, there's a lot of website links, all to do with some topic, and you'd like to have it all in one place, and maybe you're training somebody, or maybe it's something that your entire staff need to be aware of, it's when you would use Google Notebook LM by Google. So Notebook LM by Google. So it's notebooklm.google.com. And I'm going to show you the example. Very, very simple. It's one of the easiest things to use. There's a free version, and then there's the paid version. So if it's something you want to check out the free version, if it's something you want to use, you may want to go pro, because this one is not that expensive. So this is what the LM notebooklm.google.com looks like when you're creating it. But let me start before that, just so that I could show you what it looks like when you first log in. So because it's part of our whole Google platform, you have right here, you have your Google Apps. So when you add something to your Google Apps, as you know, in this case, your Gmail apps, it becomes part of your apps over here. Or you can go to it directly. I'm going to go through it through my app. So I click on it there. That's what it looks like, Google Notebook LM. And so when you click on it, you'll see that it's notebooklm.google.com. So you can go to it directly that way, or go through it through your apps, depending if you're a Gmail person or not. So when you're there, you won't have any notebooks created yet, but I have a few that I created. And how do you create them, you might ask? Well, let me tell you. So you click on Create New Notebook. It can't be any simpler than this. And then when you click on it, you drag your sources. What do I mean by that? So you're training it. It will only answer what you give it to know. But so it's not going to hallucinate by going out and finding topics that aren't relevant. You are going to upload, it could be files, and it could be, look what this, I'm uploading videos. I'm uploading documents. It's just going to PDFs. I'm uploading. So there's so many different types of files, Excel spreadsheets, so many different types of files you can upload. Or, of course, because it's Google, right from your Google Drive, you can upload these things. So resumes, again, PDFs. So you can see the different types of file types you're allowed to upload. Oops. And so you're adding a source. So there's three things that you can do is you add them. So it could be from your Google space. It could be from, or even website links. You can just add website links. If I click on this, you can cut and paste a URL, right? So I can cut and paste a URL, the Trent system, if I want to make something about the AI course. So you're uploading a source. So I click on source and I'm uploading source. That's how you start. And so the sources that it allows you to upload are PDF, text, Markdown. I apologize, I don't know what that is, an MP3. You can't upload an MP4 directly. I thought that was the case. I apologize. You can't upload an MP4, which is video. You can only upload YouTube videos. Your YouTube video cannot be unlisted or private. It has to be public or it won't upload it. I found that out the hard way. And you can cut and paste text into it. So that's cool. So you upload it. Big deal. You're thinking, well, that sounds like, okay, that's cool. So, but it's really cool because then the material you upload, and I'll show you that in a second, it'll create a podcast from it right away. You can say, create a 2-minute podcast from all of this material, or create a 5-minute podcast, or just create a podcast and it's going to try and capture it all. Create a video overview. It's going to take what you've uploaded and create an actual video overview, a business overview more so. It's not animated. A mind map, which blows your mind. It's like a picture of where everything is. If you think of a table of contents, and you know how you have headings in table of contents, and you click on it and there's subheadings, and you click on that and there's more subheadings. It will create that, and it does exactly that. You click on it and it will categorize all this random information you put in there, which hopefully is about one topic, into chapters, and then into subtitles for each chapter, and then subtitles and subtitles. So you can click on one chapter that you're interested in, and it'll take you to the source. It'll actually give you a summary and then take you to the source if you want it to. It'll give you reports, flashcards, and quizzes. Oh my goodness, blow my mind, right? So this is what I created for you for the class. So I've put in it so far, this 2 videos. And one video was from last week's lecture and then this week's lecture. So I put in the 2 videos. I'm not going to, so I put in those 2 videos. And because they had to be public, I thought, I don't think I'm going to put in our live videos there, because you're telling me a lot of things about your own work that you want to do. So I'm not going to let those be public on YouTube. I'm just going to use the lectures. Even that I don't like making public, but it's the only way I can upload. And I wanted you to have access to it, and I wanted to show it to you. So, and then PDFs, I just have a couple of PDFs, but I could have had all sorts of other videos for supporting document. I could have MP3s. So now what happens is I can click on this over here, and it'll give me a quiz on my material based on this 4 information. So according to the lecture, what's the most fitting analogy for giving a prompt to AI? I haven't even seen these yet. So giving instructions and roles and boundaries to new employees, that's a great analogy. Filling out standardized predefined fields, no. Using a search engine to find a list of websites. Write a detailed computer program No. So, oh, and look, it gives you a hint as well. The instructor emphasized that you're the boss of the AI. You're the boss of the AI. So cool. That's the right answer. That's right. And it tells you that analogy aligns with the lecture description. I am thrilled with this, right? So those of you that are educators will know that I'm not lying when I'm saying I'm thrilled with this. So and then it gives you to explain. It goes and looks at the material and it explains it further. Blow my mind. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So you can see what it does, and I've put the link out there for you to look at. I'm curious because it's Google, those of you that aren't Google humans, how you're going to be able to see it or not, or do you have to be in my I'm not sure. So we'll see how this works. And then it also will give you prompt engineering. This is a audio. I have to show you the audio in a second. The audio is really powerful. Here's the mind map. So this is the mind map. It's like a word map. So in this, you can click on that and it opens. But say I want to look at this, it'll actually go to that and put it here in the middle for me. And it brings out the actual information from the course outline right there. Isn't that the most powerful thing you've seen? So, as I said, this is fairly new. It is a Google world. It'll give you analytics. It'll tell you how many people looked at it. You have a share link for it, where I can share it. I can add people in groups to it. But what I've done is I've indicated anyone with the link can see this. So I wanted you to see this one. I love this tool. So it might be something you may want to use. Okay. Another tool I found that you might find useful that I've put in the actual, where are we? Here we are. I'll keep some coming up. So the other one I have is on ChatGPT. You can create a really simple chatbot, a really, really simple one. And this one is very simple, and I'll tell you why. Because complex chatbots do something a little bit more. So this one being simple, you're simple feeding it the content you want it to know, and it creates what looks like ChatGPT, except it's only talking about your content. So here is the one I created with ChatGPT. If I click on it, it should go to the link. It's not. Okay, so I need to put the link here for you. Oh, it's going. Gone. Okay, good. So I just created this for you, and I'll show you how I created it in a second. So this is a public, I know for a fact this one is public, chatbot that ChatGPT that so many of us use, are familiar with. What you may not realize is over here is how you create your own GPT. So I'll show you how you do that in a second. So in this one, for example, what is AI? What are the sectors or topics of this course? How do I achieve my micro-credential? What's the first assignment? So these are, I fed to it, are 2 PowerPoints, and let's see what it says. How do I achieve my micro-credential? I fed to it also the Trent University website on micro-credentials. To achieve your micro-credentials, it comes up and it tells us the course information. It gives us the course overview and the different assignments. Pretty cool, right? So if somebody is just looking and they want to interact that way, they can. Do you notice you can also talk to it? So someone can actually dictate the question and ask the same question that I just, that they would normally type in. So you can have the preloaded questions that it has, or you can type in your question. So that is pretty awesome. Now, how do you create it, you might ask? So when you come to your ChatGPT, which I'm going to just do, so you go to chatgpt.com, which is everyone's kind of start when it comes to chatbot, to AI. Sorry, there's a a little bug on my screen. So you can tell which type of chat GPT you are in, like right here. It says, this one says 5. There's a little down arrow next to it. But I think we've all been upgraded to 5. These are all the legacy models, which was 4. So Carlene, I'm hoping you're 5. And then there's the upgrade option here. So what you would want to do then is, how do you create your own? So down here, it's not how you do it. These are all my past chats, where if I want to create more about my chatbot flowchart creation, I have this tool I'm creating. I would go here and I would continue to work on that. I'll show you my own what's that called? Action figure in a second. I'll go back and I'll show you how that went. But to create your own ChatGPT, to create your own chatbot, you click on Explore. It's not very obvious. Why would you click on Explore? But you click on Explore, and then you go up here and click on Create. So this is how you create your own ChatGPT's chatbot. So you click on Create, and in here, you're able to put in a logo if you want. You can configure it with a name, a description, instructions that just tell people why you have this chatbot. Conversation starters. This is where I wrote down what is AI? And then I wrote down what is something else. So I have given some conversation starters. So people, if it's on writing resumes, maybe you want to have something about that in here. What are your past, how do I, you guys know what you do better than I do. And this is where you can upload your files. So you're going to upload your PDFs here, and then and some other new actions. So you can create, and then you can configure, and then you'll be able to preview. And once you have your information there, you create it. So let me show you the one I created for you on this course. So where would I find that, you might ask? Where are my past GPs gone? Right here, where it says my GPTs. So these are all of the ones I've created in the past. So here's the one I just created today, 4 chats that I have in there. I can edit it. I can delete it. And there's some other ones I've created. So if I click on this one, I'm just going to click on edit it. You're going to see that I can edit the content that I have in here. So right now I have AI readiness checklist, business prompts, video. So here I would probably go, if I was you, to figure out what prompts you want to use for various things that we've talked about in the course. And that's probably a good place to go for your competitive analysis prompt. Video workshop. I did a video workshop, the one that Elizabeth went to. So that one, the content from that is here. An AI, anyway, so all the modules are here. And so you can see I've uploaded files, and that's what I configured. And I put in the course kind of little icon there. And then these were the conversation starters I talked about. So you write it here and it shows up there. Get rid of it and it goes away. It's that simple. You can add it. And what is AI? And it will show up right there. So you can see that it'll be there once it's updating, and it'll show up. So it does the search for it, and it looks at the topic, and it'll add it there when it's updated. So it's pretty cool, right? And then you get the link for it. So anyone with the link, I guess GP's store. I didn't know I could put it on the store. That's pretty cool. Or I could do it where I only want to look at it because I'm the one that I only want to use this. So that's not the case in this case. Okay. So that's all there is to creating 2 very simple chatbots. Now, the more complex one, I'm going to get into more next week in the lecture. That one is using something called Tidio. Do I have the example open? I don't think I have Tidio open for you here. Yeah, I don't. But Tidio is what I'm going to be using as the tool of choice for showing you how you use a chatbot, where it will actually say someone's just having a problem and you want them to talk to a real human, mainly you, Tidio will do a handoff to a human where this one will not ChatGPT won't, and Notebook LM will not. So that's a big difference between them. Why can I not stay there? Thank you. So I wanted to now also show you my little journey in trying to create our AI first assignment. So here I said, create a doll of me in a blister pack, put me in a black leather skirt to my knees with a white top, a few large red flowers and blue, red glasses, ankle red boots, plus my cell phone, a laptop, 2 dogs, Belgian Shepherd, Princess, and Cream or Retriever, and a kayak. Ask me if you need anything more. I'm telling ChatGPT if I need anything more. Also, please create a trading card bio. And this turned out Stacy, and she is, I wasn't impressed at all with how Stacy looked. So I got pretty mad at it, and I was I think ChatGPT actually hung up on me because it said there was an error afterwards. I said, this is horrible. I look like I'm 300 pounds. So I don't think I look like that. Anyway, so got it. Let's fix that. Let's generate it all that reflects you, more flattering, more realistic. Before I redo it, can you confirm a few quick details? Do you prefer a body shape and what length of hair, ponytail, etc.? Any tweaks to your outfit? More realistic or Barbie doll? I am not a Barbie doll. Anyway, so it's asked me all sorts of questions. And so then I gave it a whole bunch of answers: athletic, long wavy hair, same outfit. And so this is what came back. I feel I don't look like that either. So I went back and forth a few times. I don't know if there were spelling errors on this one. And then action, it's missing the A. It's like, what is that about? Princess has 2 P's. And, so there's a lot of errors on it. So Paul sent me an email earlier. He's in the class as well, saying how frustrated he was with this. And so it's frustrating. I mean, you cannot trust it. They need you as a human in here. I just want you to get used to working with the prompt. So this is just a fun example project. And then here is this action figure. She's getting better. I don't mind her, except you got Princess is actually looking like Duke, not my actual dog. So then my past beautiful dog. And so then this is Super Sofie. I like this one. Super Sofie, I can live with that. AI business leader and trainer. And then it came out with these stats on me. So I said, that's pretty cool. So this was ChatGPT. I asked the same of, let's see, I asked the same of, here we go, of Gemini.google.com. Again, Gemini.google.com. That is the Gemini chat product. We have the ChatGPT, and then Gemini came out later by Google. It actually turned out really good. I was surprised. So I gave it a picture of 2 pictures, one of myself and one of my dogs. Create a doll of me in a blister pack, put me in, and then I said SofieAndreo.com, my website, in a black leather skirt just past my knees, white top, sleeves, a few large red flowers. So pretty much the same thing as the last one. And this is what he came out with, or she. So I loved it. I wanted my skirt a little longer though. And I absolutely loved it. And then I asked, can you put my logo on there? So I uploaded my logo for it. And so then it definitely I can do that. So this is what it came out with. He lengthened my skirt and gave me my logo. So I like this one. This hair is more what I like to do. And then this is the back. I said, that doesn't flow. And said, can't you do something like this? And so then they did something like that. And I said, well, that doesn't flow. And then they came out with this, which flows better in my mind. So then I hate the one that Microsoft's Copilot did. I really hate it. But this is what they did. I suppose it's not so bad. The first one was a little plump. I guess that's probably what I really look like. And then this is what this one turned out like. My dogs are perfect in this one. So you can see, this was more of an exercise to help you just not fear AI, because I mean, there are fun things we can do with it. But then next week, what I want to get into is how to grow your business, understand your target market. And I'm going to go through today's notes and really understand what each of you want to make sure that I'm able to customize it for your needs in the prompts. So you have all sorts of prompts that I shared with you. Oh, hello. Sandra's on big there. So I shared with you a ton of prompts. And I don't know if you've all had a time to go look at the video or not. Probably not, because some of you just got access. But in there's probably 40 prompts. So don't get overwhelmed. I mean, there's some that are not necessary to whatever you're doing. There are some that'll be fun. So but next week, what we're going to focus in on just a few of them based on what I think your needs might be. And next week is about business development and marketing development. And I'm going to start introducing next week a little more of the video animation, because some of you are interested in that. We're going to do a little more on chatbots, because I'm just going to release it little by little so we don't go nuts on chatbots. But I really think each of you said there was something you might get out of it. So in closing, is there anything that someone looked at and go, wow, this wasn't that, I want to use that? Carmelina.
I do actually, because of something you said, it made me think of something, which is I'm also very interested to see if there's a tool to help me document workflow or processes in my home office. Because I think that's important for me to be able to then see if I could leverage something else to improve productivity. Is there a tool that you know?
And so, well, yes, in the actual ChatGPT itself
Okay.
and in Copilot itself, they now
Okay.
have workflow automation. But
Okay.
the best one of all of them still is Zapier, for going across different platforms that aren't necessarily all Google or necessarily all Microsoft. So in your platform, in your
How do I-
content, sorry.
How do I spell that? Sorry, I didn't understand that last one.
Zapier. Hey, Google, how do you spell Zapier?
Zapier is spelled Zapier.
Zapier.
Okay, thank you.
We're
I'll look it up.
Canadian, not American.
All right.
No, don't play that. Hey, Google, stop. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, because my biggest concern is privacy everywhere, because I had a legal background and investigation
Yes.
background, and there's so many privacy leaks everywhere with data. So that's why I'm the only person in Toronto that doesn't do e-transfers.
You are, but
Yeah, I am the only person, because every time I read a fraud magazine, I'm like, forget it, I'll just walk over to the bank.
yeah. So Microsoft Copilot is still the one that's considered the safest
Yeah.
because of the Microsoft tools and the actual security around it. That's why most organizations will default to Copilot. And within that, I think that really tells you that maybe that's where you want to be as well.
Yeah.
And what I'll do then is I will look forward to sharing with you more some process mapping tools that it now offers, and which is new, by the way. When I first started teaching this course at the beginning of this last summer, you needed Zapier in between all of them, but it's a third-party tool. So now Copilot within Microsoft does what Zapier does on its own. You don't need it. And it now allows you to create AI agents, I think it calls it. And I think it's through Power Automate. I'll just have to check, but I think it's through something called Power Automate that's part of the Microsoft ecosystem that'll allow you to do your process mapping. It'll look at your Outlook. It'll look at your files. It'll look at your team minutes from you've talked, it goes through all the SharePoint. And say you have a team member who's part of that ecosystem, it will, and you've shared, say Danielle and I are part of that ecosystem. And we've worked on some projects together over the years. And she's given me permission to, share files. It'll look through all those files, my files, threads of emails and bring it all together for me in workflow. We had someone from Scotiabank that took the course in the summer, and she had a lot of repetitive Excel spreadsheet input and output that her whole team was doing. And because of the course, she was able to streamline that data entry, and it saved them hours each day, and they were thrilled. So you just don't know where it's going to go till you're exposed to everything a little bit.
Good. Thank you. That's
Okay.
exactly what I'd love. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, anyone else have any thoughts?
I just have a question about security, and this is something we get into in my course, that if you upload, your research paper into some of these, the question becomes who owns the material, where does that all kind of lead us? And I'm wondering if you could, not necessarily at this moment, but these are some of the things that I think are
Okay.
important for us to, perhaps we could talk about at another time. That would be great.
It's very important, Kelly. You're right.
Thanks.
We're going to get that into the last lecture, but I can at least put some material forward for you before then. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. That is a very good question. I think Carmelina would love that one too.
Mhm.
Sophie, I was just wondering, you were showing that you can share right from Notebook. And I was just wondering, can you just share one element with people? Like, I went
Yes.
on and
Yeah.
did
So
the
I could.
podcast and I loved it, but if I didn't want to share everything, I wanted to share just that one.
Yeah. So if I was going to go in, I could just share the link to just the podcast. You're absolutely right.
Okay, perfect.
Versus the link to the entire book. And that's what why am I not getting to it? But I'm not going to get to it because now I'm in a hurry. So if I wanted to, I could go back to Studio, and over here where the podcast is, this prompt engineering secrets, you can see that little podcast symbol, and this is the video symbol. I can click on this and just download or share just the podcast. So I could download the MP3 of it.
Yeah, I did
or
that.
I can
Yep.
just share. So I can just share the podcast, and it's pretty cool because I'm not in Teams and I'm in what's it called? Zoom. If I have you listen to the podcast, you won't hear it. Yeah, you're not hearing it. Stop.
So Sophie, will it share a link for you to give out to people, or will it just, you have to share it specifically to their email?
Anyone with the link, so I can copy the
Okay.
audio link.
Okay.
So I can put that. I need to make this stop. I can put that in here in our. Oh yes, I was going to share this with you too. I can put it in our information for the course, so you guys could hear it because it's pretty amazing. But if you go into the course, I don't have a course up anymore. Oh, for goodness sake! If you go into the course, go back to the course. I go into Blackboard, and you can just go down to the course that you're in. If it hasn't logged me out. And of course, it's not going to do that. Okay. I have no patience, if you've noticed. There it is. Okay, so my courses, I go down to this course, and I'm in. And what I'll do is I'll add it to the content here. So course content, but what you'll see is I already have it here in the Notebook LM. If you go to it, you have access to all of it. But the question was, can you add just the link? So I can. So I can go in to the course content because I'm creating the course content, edit my content, and I could add for you just the podcast, which is really cool. So podcast to course material to date. So there's just the podcast to it. And of course, I am trying to do too much too fast. I gotta delete that, or you won't know what the heck it is. Okay. And save, submit. So that is really cool. And if I go over to where you put your assignments, I hadn't shown you that. You're going to click on the assignments and you'll be able to see where you put your assignments. And I already looked at the first few that have been submitted. They've all from Paul. So he doesn't like his action figures, so he keeps on uploading them, which is kind of cool. He's got guts for doing that, and I really commend him for doing that. So great digital display repairing action, moving media, his company. And then this one is digital display. So he's got this one, then he's starting to get mad at it because I guess there was typos. This one's really cool. So signage, monthly maintenance. So it's kind of cool what he's been doing. Very cool. And then he also had one where it was down here, a video. He actually created a little video where he wasn't happy because it wasn't very long. So I'm going to try and find him another tool to use that goes longer than 5 seconds. So he was all over it. He promises he's going to join us next week. Okay,
What did he use for the video?
let's go see. It was something I haven't used before. I don't know if Julia's still there and she remembers what he used.
I'm not sure,
It
sorry.
said DV or something. DV on the
There it
top.
is, DEEVIDAI. There's so many of them, right? Tools out there.
Okay.
So I'm not recommending it, and I'm not
No,
recommending
no.
it until I try it myself.
Yeah.
So so we'll see. The ones I recommend are CapCut and Sora, but I need to create some for you so you can see for yourself how easy it is, because I won't recommend something till I've used it. Okay, everyone. Is that cool? We're we're
Yeah.
15 minutes over, which isn't too bad. Okay, I try to keep us on time. You know, you guys are just so interesting.
Thanks, Sophie. Appreciate
Oh, my
it. I
pleasure,
hope,
Kelly.
and I appreciate you sending the material because at least we can try to keep up.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I'm sure you
Okay.
don't have access to it yet, but it drives me nuts too. Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for everything.
Bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Kelly. Nice
Good
meeting
night.
you all that I hadn't
Thank you.
met before. Thank you for sharing again.